hilarious. I'm just taking a tour of the garden and the paddock, and I turned around, I've got my darling following me. And then she's got his darling following her. Because where Penny goes, Arthur goes. She's so cute. She reminds me of Elsa, like in horse form. She's so sweet. You're following me, I'm looking at our plants. You know, I'll tell you a little story about Penny. She doesn't like to be handled, she never has. She's just a naturally nervous horse, or like her nature's a bit on the timid side. And I don't know, sorry, I'm walking, I have to walk over something. And I don't know if it's because of, you know, her previous experience, but when I spoke to the people that owned her when she was much, much younger, they said she was always difficult to catch, she hated being caught. But you know, I don't know, but definitely by the time I got her, and I don't think that was the people that the reputable breeders, because she's a very quality Australian stock horse. And the reputable breeders, I don't believe, abuse the horses by any stretch. Look, because I'm walking up to her, she's moving away. I don't believe that they would mistreat their horses in any way, shape or form. Anyway, but when we got her, she was very nervous, and I remember I had her tied up and I was grooming her and she was shaking in terror. And the only other horse I've had like that, I mean, Tuppy was scared, but she would be aggressive, was Ruby, our little Arab horse. And I had her tied up and I was trying to groom her and she was just terrified. And so they've obviously been hit, or stuff's happened when they've been, look, my neighbour's coming through on a motorbike, so I'm probably going to just, oh, look, I'll just let him come through. I'll just show you Arthur. I think I'm just too critical because I'm just so desperate for him to put on weight. But when you see Penny, you can see clearly that she's put on weight from when she was 2. You know, her weight drops very easily. And, sorry, because I'm looking, because Cleo's come. See, what happens is my attention gets distracted. And because I'm looking away, my phone goes off when I'm filming. So sorry about that. Anyway, so I'm going to get back to Penny in a minute, but yeah, so I guess he's just a bit behind them, so he's more like what Cleo was. He's more like sorry, that was my neighbour. Anyway, so he's more like what Cleo was. Remember, I can put in some pictures in comparison. Like Cleo's a little bit under at the moment. She's a little bit sore in that front left leg from being degloved, but Penny's nice and round. You see, because Penny doesn't need as much as them because she's not as big. Cleo and Arthur are similar size. But anyway, so back to Penny. I think she was nervous before she was ever mistreated. Just a timid nature, because they've all got their own natures. Like Tuppy was mistreated, and Tuppy, her way to cope with it with humans was to just turn her butt to them, and she was her business end, and she really would have kicked someone if they really pushed her too hard. She was terrified of people, but she displayed that by being aggressive, going on the aggressive front when, you know, obviously they will run away if they can, but in most of their handling situation with humans, they can't because they're tied up. My neighbour's mowing, so sorry about the background noise. Anyway, so she's particularly not particularly fearful of us. If we're in a bad mood, she knows. Like, it's really important to try not to handle them if you're in a bad mood, or even though if you're in a bad mood, just to try and accept that you're in a bad mood, but do not take it out on the horses. Have I taken it out on them? Maybe about, off the top of my head, about 3 times. And when I say that, I don't mean I've abused them, anything like that, but it just didn't help my relationship with them, because it's really important not to do that, because they remember and stuff like that, and they trust us, and they're our prisoners in a way. Now she's nice, and she's in very good form now. She's got all the weight back on. For a 30-year-old, she's looking good. So even though she's shy and timid, getting back to what I was saying when she was first following me, if anyone's still watching this, I know my mum will be, and there are a few people who are interested, and you never know. people might be interested. So the best thing you can do is to earn the trust and then to accept and work with their nature. She doesn't like to be petted on. He's the lowest horse in the herd. She's second low horse, and he loves her. And so I accept that she follows me. That's her way of saying that she trusts me. She likes me as a human. She feels safe with me, but she doesn't want me to handle her. Of course I can handle her. I can touch her everywhere on her body. You know, udder everywhere, right? But I've stopped kind of grooming her, like I'm getting her winter coat out. But if her mane gets knotty, I let it go knotty. It doesn't matter. She has a better quality of life. Sorry, I had a fly bite me. Letting her mane go knotty, and just to hang around with me, like she's enjoying hanging out with me like this. You know what I mean? Because over the years, she learnt very soon when I first got her that if the other horses tried to take her food, she'd come to me and I'd just go back and move them off. So she's always known. I've snuck her food when I had the whole herd roaming, all the properties when we were allowed to have them all out here. She knew that if she just hung around and came back after the herd left, I'd sneak her and hide her behind the door of the container and give her another feed. And she knew she could do that a couple of times a day, and she knew the routine, and we've got a very good communication. And I just love it when they follow me. And then so the others have come up. They're such curious Georges, because even though I'm their captor, because you've got to remember, technically these horses are my prisoners. Like, I keep them on my land. They can't escape. I can make them do things. I can put them in yards. I can tie them up, which I do when they need to get their feet done, etc., so forth and so on. And so the key is my idea with them was to give them the best possible life in captivity. And I refer to it more so as captivity because since I've had wild brumbies, they're not wild anymore. They came to me wild. They came to me essentially unhandled. What they do is they put them in a crush, which means they can't run or escape, to brand them. They run them into a crush, and they can run them into a crush to put a halter on them. And then they put them on a truck, run them onto a truck. And then so you get them, and with some of them I've paid for them to have some, they've come to me in different states, but a couple of them have come to me completely, a few of them have come to me completely unhandled. And then some of them have come to me supposedly handled, and they might as well not have been, like Halo. She was just terrified. Whatever her experience was, she was trapped and pretty much left unhandled for 18 months or something like that. I don't know the exact figures, I could be getting it wrong. And she had the same halter on her that she was, that was put on her when she was trapped and sold. They don't put them on them until they sell them. If the future owner might, you know, either ask for a halter to put on them or they get them in a crush and put a halter on them. But okay, they're going. I wanted to finish looking at my plans, but I've actually forgotten what the dickens I was going to talk about. But oh, see, this is Manjo's the lead horse, and he's just, it's interesting because he often hunts. Oh, that's Cleo. Sorry, I thought that was Penny. Yeah, they often have words. Look at them all. They've gone out of sight. And Arthur's very much on the outer rim. Oh, I might put him back in. They've got a holding yard that I put the 3 old ones in to eat. I'll let him go back in there if he wants. He gets very rejected by the herd, and he tends to hang around on this side of the riverbank. Occasionally he'll go on the other side, but he'll be closer to me because I think he feels rejected by the herd, or he's rejected by the herd, not feels. And then he knows he's got a safe base with me. He's a bit like Penny like that. Look, this has all been out to lunch, but the dog's barking because they've run. So the dogs are like, oh, it's my job to bark. The horses are running. I'm trying to train him not to. He's gotten a lot better. This is the most he's barked today. He hasn't barked. He let me know a car was coming, stopped straight away. Let me know a car was coming, stopped straight away. And this is the first time he's done this. And it's because I'm not up there. But he is improving. It's really hard to teach them not to bark when you're not with them, because you can correct them when you're with them. Anyway, I'm going to go back and look at my plants.